वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ॐ अज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णकृष्णाय भूतले प्रभुपादति प्रिय श्री गिरिराजाय स्वामिने सुमुक्तारास बिहारी ब्रह्मोत्तरीयचात्मदायिने। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणं। हरे कृष्ण। So we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 6, Chapter 4, and Text 19. So this is Prajapati Daksha, who is born from the Prachetas, 10 Prachetas, and their wife Marisha, daughter of Apsara from Lochana, and raised by the moon god. And she was left in the trees, and he was raised. Yes, so we have to remember that all this is not happening in our regular earth. This is happening in a different realm. And you can read from text 18, says Shukadev Goswami continued, please hear from me with great attention how Prajapati Daksha, who was very affectionate to his daughters, created different types of living entities through his semen and through his mind. So, so, so actually, creation happens through the mind, right? So that's why we have Garbhadhan Samskar, right? Because the child actually is going to come from the mind of the parents. So mind has to be proper, then a proper child is born. Text 19. Manaseva Srijat Purvam Prajapatirimah Prajaha Devasuram Manasyadin Nabhasthala Jalokashaha. With his mind, Prajapati Daksha first created all kinds of demigods, demons, human beings, birds, beasts, aquatics, and so on. So now we know from where everybody is coming, right? So he created all kinds of demigods. So remember, we have to go back to remember actually. We have to go back to remember, right? We read about Prajapati Daksha, right? In his previous, in Swayambhuva Manu, he was born. But not much information was given about him, Prajapati Daksha. Now more is given. So he's born from a Kshatriya dynasty now, in the line of Dhruva Maharaj. Prachibarni, his son, or the Prachetas, right? Prachibarni, his is in the line of Dhruva Maharaj. And now their descendants. So Prajapati Daksha took birth in his family, and he's creating all kinds of demigods, demons, human beings, birds, beasts, aquatics, and so on. Text 20. Tamma brimhitam alokya Saraskaram tapaha. But when Prajapati Daksha saw that he was not properly generating all kinds of living entities, he approached a mountain near the Vindhya mountain range, and there he executed very difficult austerities. Where's Vindhya mountain? Where is it? Vindhya? Where? Where is Vindhya? North, south, east? It's north. Okay, so meaning where Himalaya? That's where the Vindhya range is. And which countries or provinces are there? No, I'm sorry. Uttarakhand? Uttarakhand is... विंध्याचल के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. Yeah, because I want real, it's otherwise like fiction. In the Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh, so it's in Uttar Pradesh. आप विंध्यवासी ने देखा विंध्याचल is famous primarily as a major Hindu pilgrimage site. It is also considered as a sacred Shakti peeth where a part of goddess Sati is believed to have fallen. Yeah, all so many stories happen, right? So where is it? I want a geography location. Where is it? Because I'm always curious.
Mirzapur state.
Huh?
Uttar Pradesh.
Uttar Pradesh, UP.
Yes.
It's in UP. All right, so he went north. All right, and there he executed very difficult austerities. That तत्राघघमर्शनं नाम तीर्थं पापहरं परम् उपस्पृश्यानुशवानं tapasatoshayadharim. Now you have to find this place now. Near that mountain was a very holy place named Agha Marshana. There Prajapati Daksha executed ritualistic ceremonies and satisfied the Supreme Person of Godhead Hari by engaging in great austerities to place him, find ways Agha Marshana. Because say Vindhya is holy place, right? So Agha Marshana. I'm very curious. Huh? I go on tours actually. So many these vlog, no? Vlog. They go on all those places of pilgrimage. Agha Marshanam. Agha means sin, right? Agha Marshanam. So where? Yeah. Where the Papa Haram. Huh? Pap Haram.
Agamarshana is not a single location but a term that can refer to a Vedic sage, a sacred hymn, or a business. The
Okay, okay.
business name
Okay, so they don't know. Okay, let's
Zahim.
go on. Let's go on. Text 22. Let's go on. अष्टौ सिद्धांश गुह्येन भगवन्तम् अधोक्षजं तुभ्यं तत् अभिधास्यामि कस्य तु षड्विद् यथा हरिः. My dear King, I shall fully explain to you the Hamsa Guhya prayers which were offered to the Supreme Person Godhead by Daksha, and I shall explain how the Lord was pleased with him for those prayers. Purport. It is to be understood that the Hamsa Guhya prayers were not composed by Daksha, but were existing in the Vedic literature. So remember now that King Prajapati Daksha, he has some motivation in his austerity, right? He has some motivation. What does he want?
For properly generating all kinds of living entities.
Yes, so he is Prajapati Uvacha Nama Paraya Vita, understanding Krishna, right? So the Supreme Person Godhead is transcendent to the illusory energy, meaning Maya, is beyond Maya. And the physical categories it produces, this material world, which is created, which is maintained, which is destroyed, and very fast things happen. He possesses the potency for unfailing knowledge and supreme willpower. So he knows everything. He knows exactly what we are doing right now, right? And he knows what's going on in our mind and what plans we are making. So his potency is unfailing knowledge and supreme willpower, meaning that if he wants something, it's done like this. Willpower. And he's the controller of the living entities and the illusory energy. You know, just like each and every one of us, we are controlled, right? Everybody. Your family members are controlling you, and whoever's strongest in the family, they control you, right? Isn't it? And the strongest family member doesn't forget that there's someone who's controlling him, right? Or her, right? So there is the supreme willpower, and he's the controller of the living entities and the illusory energy. The conditioned souls who have accepted this material manifestation as everything cannot see him, for he is above the evidence of experimental knowledge. Self-evident and self-sufficient, he is not caused by any superior cause. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him. So now, us who are conditioned souls, we are not seeing him. That's why I just said, no, everybody is trying to bully one another at home, right? And control the other one, everyone, right? But they don't realize and understand that actually there's somebody controlling them also. They're not seeing. They're not seeing. I just heard this lecture Prabhupada is saying how this material nature is automatic. It's automatic, meaning that as we work, click, 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 recorded, out comes the reaction, right? And we are so recklessly moving around, speaking, doing, thinking, okay. Our thought becomes action, right? And speech. Recklessly, and we don't know it's all recording. And then, like the chalang comes out when you're, right? You're driving. You're driving, right? You don't notice, you think nobody's seeing, and suddenly you find in your phone, right? Now it's all automatic. And no protest, no bribing, right? No bribing. It's gone, it's recorded, pay. This is how the laws of material nature is working. And we conditioned soul are not seeing how we are being controlled. Self-evident and so he's above the evidence of experimental knowledge, meaning pratyaksha. He's above pratyaksha. He's not visible to the eyes, right? And even anubhav, anuman, right? Anuman. Self-evident and self-sufficient. Self-evident. Where's the word there? Nivrittamanaya. Nimittamanaya. Yeah. Anubhutaye abhasa nimitta bandhave adrishtadhamne गुणतत्व बुद्धिभिः निवृत्तमानाय. Self-evident meaning that pratyaksha means evidence, right? Meaning I'm seeing through pratyaksha, through my senses, or anuman through my mental speculation. But he has his own evidence, self-evident, all right? He doesn't require you to say he exists, therefore he exists. Follow? It doesn't require anyone to say, yes, God exists, therefore he exists. He's self-evident and self-sufficient. He doesn't require us to say, yes, there is a God. Then he will exist. My God, what philosophy.
Oh, this is hardcore, real.
Right? What philosophy? And Prabhupada explained the purport all this. The transcendental, therefore, therefore let me offer my namaha paraya vitadhanu bhutaye. Namaha. So therefore namaha. The transcendental position of the Supreme Person Godhead is explained herewith. He is not perceivable by the conditioned souls who are accustomed, now just see, we are accustomed to material vision and cannot understand that the Supreme Person Godhead exists in his own abode, which is beyond that vision. That famous verse, Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashanti Sura Divivat Shura Atatam. Those who awaken, they can see the abode of Vishnu. Right? They can see the abode of Vishnu, they know the abode of Vishnu exists, and they are offering their obeisances. Now this is Rig Veda. So, The Supreme Lord exists in his abode, but he's not visible to the conditioned soul, but he's visible to those who are Jagrit. Right? Those souls who awaken, they can see the abode of the Supreme Lord. Even if a materialistic person could count all the atoms in the universe, he would still be unable to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As confirmed in Brahma Samhita 5.34, Pantastu koti shatavatsara sampragamyo vayorathapi manaso muni pungavanam sopyastyat
प्रपदसिम्नि अविचिन्त्य तत्त्वे
govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. The conditioned souls may try to understand the Supreme Person of Godhead for many billions of years through their mental speculative processes, traveling at the speed of the mind or the wind. Vayur, Athapi, Manasa. So either they travel the speed of the wind or they travel the speed of mind. And the Muni Pungavanam, Prabhupada, I just heard Prabhupada speak on this verse. Muni Punga means the topmost of Muni. Muni means? Yeah. Yeah, Muni means somebody who's thinking. Right? Man, yeah. Who's thinking. Now, topmost thinker, they can't find him. But still the absolute truth will remain inconceivable to them because a materialistic person cannot measure the length and breadth of the Supreme Personality's Godhead's unlimited existence. If the absolute truth is beyond measurement, one may ask, how can one realize him? If the absolute truth is beyond measurement, one may ask, how can, so what's the use of a God who's imperceivable, inconceivable, so you're lost, right? Anyway, let him be, right? Let him be, anyway. The answer is given here by the word Swayam Bhuve. One may understand him or not, but nevertheless he is existing his own spiritual potency. Now remember that at the end of this prayer, Lord Vishnu will appear. It's very powerful, all right, for all of us. If we want to understand, see the Supreme Lord, process is given here. So first we're explaining, so everybody is looking at this deity, right? Here we're seeing a beautiful deity, we are doing puja, right? Other people are saying, what is it? They're coming and stealing, right? If the deity is made of valuable gem, right, jewel, made of gold. I just saw this video, right? So the deities are made of gold. So thieves think, oh, goody. I heard in British Museum, so many golden, they're statues, right? That's what they saw. They saw they saw statues, right? So, how will that which others are seeing as idol or statue, how will this become alive and become perceivable to us? Just, all these historians, they're explaining how when some people, they go to conquer. Actually, this whole thing came out when Ramlala's temple was again built, Ayodhya temple. So then they were explaining that it's a marvel in the history of mankind. So they explained that usually what happened when they go and they conquer a country, they don't conquer just the people. They don't just conquer the wealth of the people. They want to conquer the culture also. And they want to conquer their ways of worship. So that's why they demolish their,
Or
their places of worship, and they establish their own. This is what they do. And usually what happens, the original is completely lost. Completely lost. So here, so they were like astounded, and these are historians who are examining, analyzing the whole thing. So so they are saying that, and that's why they gain respect for India. See, that's why like the world gain respect for India, because a temple that's been erased again came up. So meaning that that culture, that philosophy cannot be destroyed. So very, see, we are simple people, we don't understand all these things, but those who are studying, those who are studying sociology, geology, I don't know what ology they are studying, they are seeing and understanding what is happening. And one person, he said that when there are these, I mean, see how Prabhupada is putting up so many buildings which are temples, temples. It is re-establishing the balance, and it is preventing invasion. Each and every temple that is built, so because they are heavy structures, so when you demolish these structures, that's when you get like you become helpless. I don't understand all these things, but these were all. There's so many sciences. Prabhupada explained that in the Vedas there's so many different types of sciences. Like Vastu is also one of them. So one branch of that. So these temples, they protect that land. So my point here is that why is it that we are not able to see the Supreme Lord? So, because he's not visible to us, but he's visible to those who are spiritually awakened, right? Because I say, well, when you read this, what's the use? Anyway, he's invisible. So what should we bother, right? So some people are not seeing, the conditioned soul are not seeing, but Daksha in his prayers, he will continue to explain. Heavy philosophy here. Text 24. न यस्य सख्यं पुरुषो वैति सख्युः सखावसं संवसता पुरेऽस्मिन् गुणो यथा गुणिनो व्यक्तदृष्टेस् तस्मै महेशय नमस्करोमि. Oh my God. Are the sense objects, form, taste, touch, smell, and sound, cannot understand how the senses perceive them? See, actually, all this we have already studied in previous cantos also. So they are repeated again and again. So the conditioned soul, although residing in his body along with the super soul, cannot understand how the supreme spiritual person, the master of the material creation, directs his senses. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto that Supreme Person, who is the Supreme Controller. Let's say I'm eating an apple or a mango, all right? I'm eating. The mango is not seeing my senses, right? The object of this, he's not seeing my senses, right? He's not seeing, right? I know I, the living being, is seeing the apple or the mango and I'm eating it. But the mango is not seeing me, right? So here, say that similarly, the super soul is along with me, but because I'm inferior, I'm not seeing the super soul. If we are able to understand this, your perception will change. Your perception will completely change. Purport. The individual soul and the super soul live together within the body. Now, we don't know, we are being informed. This is confirmed in the Upanishads by the analogy that two friendly birds live in one tree. One bird eating the fruit of the tree and the other simply witnessing and directing. This is Shabda Praman. Pratyaksha is out, Anuman is out now, Shabda Praman. Although the individual living being who is compared to the bird that is eating is sitting with his friend, the Supreme Soul, the individual living being cannot see him, just like the fruit which is being eaten by the jiv is not seeing the senses of the jiv, right? The jiv is seeing the fruit, but the fruit is not seeing the jiv. And similarly, the super soul is sitting along with the living being. Actually, we read somewhere that this super soul is sitting in the heart of this jiv. So close, but not visible. Actually, the super soul is directing the workings of his senses in the enjoyment of sense objects, meaning that meaning who's eating, remember, it is from third canto, who's eating? When the super soul is eating, then the jiva eats. Right, remember? We studied all this. When the super soul is grasping, then the jiva is grasping. Right? When the super soul, right? So actually the super soul is directing the workings of his senses. I'm just explaining. The conditioned soul has desires and the supreme soul fulfills them. So the conditioned soul wants to grab an object, a mango, right? The mango is lying very, very innocently, right? The mango is lying very innocently on your table. What does it know that you want to grab it, right? So now you keep looking, this mango, you want to pick it, and if your hand, believe me, my hand, something happened, I couldn't grasp anything, right? And Krishna released it, right? But the hand cannot grab this object unless the super soul allows, right? The conditioned soul has desires and the supreme soul fulfills them. But the conditioned soul is unable to see the super soul. So that's why we think I'm doing everything. I believe I'm doing everything. We don't realize that each and every movement of the senses, whether it's the karmendriya or the jnanendriya, everything is working by the super soul is making it happen. So here we are being enlightened about all this. Thus, Prajapati Daksha offers his obeisance to the Supreme Soul, the Super Soul, even though unable to see him. So, Prajapati Daksha, he's not seeing him, but he has heard from Shruti. This Hamsa Guhya prayers he has heard, and he's repeating them. You follow? Is it okay, Devahuti? You look like not sure.
No, I'm following.
Huh?
I'm following. If I have a question, I'll come up with it.
So, the Daksha, this is our case also. When I'm standing in front of Radha Ras Bihari, am I actually seeing that he's present or not? I don't know. Do I believe that he's taking care of me or not? Do I believe that he's the Supreme Person, Godhead, controlling everybody or not? Right? Each and everybody is doing their own thing, and everybody thinks I'm independent and happy and I dictate to you or to you what to do, you obey my order. Are we understanding that this Radha Ras Bihari is the controller of each and every action of ours? Right? So Prajapati Daksha, even though he is not seeing the Supreme Lord, but he is still praying to him. All right? He's acknowledging his presence. Thus, Prajapati Daksha offers his obeisances to the Supreme Soul, the Super Soul, even though unable to see him. Another example given in that although ordinary citizens work under the direction of the government, they cannot understand how they are being governed or what the government is. In this regard, Madhvacharya quotes the following verse from the Skanda Puran. यथा राज्ये प्रियत्वतुं भृत्यवेदेन चात्मनः तथा जीवो न यत्सख्यं वेति तस्मिन् नमोस्तुते. Other various servants in the different departments of big establishments cannot see the supreme managing director under whom they are working. The conditioned souls cannot see the Supreme Friend sitting within their bodies. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the Supreme who is invisible to our material eyes. Invisible to our material eyes. Anyway, another example is given here. So this is from Madhvacharya. So it's a government. Are you aware that you exist according to the dictation of the government? Are you aware of it?
Yeah, you have to make it.
Usually, or you hold it sitting and dictating to you what to do. Otherwise, you are not aware of its existence. Text 25. Deho savoksha manavo bhuttamatram atmahanamanyam cha vidhu param yat sarvam pumhan veda gunamscha tajgyo na veda sarvam yamanantamidhe. Because they are only matter. The body, now a list is given. What is matter? The body, the life airs, means the prana. Ashavaha, deha, this body, ashavaha, the life airs. Akshaha, the different senses. Manava, the internal and external senses, the 5 gross elements. Bhuta matram, and the subtle sense objects. Bhuta matram cannot know their own nature. All right? Matter, this matter, list is given what is matter, the body, the life air, our different senses, the gross elements, earth, water, fire, ether, and the subtle sense, right? Our taste, ear, sight, hearing, sound, etc. They cannot know their own nature because they are matter. All right? They cannot know their own nature, the nature of the other senses, or the nature of their controllers. The tongue cannot understand the ear. All right? The tongue cannot understand the ear. Right? And nor can they understand that there's somebody controlling the tongue. Or the nature of their controllers. Right? But the living being, because of his spiritual nature, can know his body. Like everybody say, know your body. You should know your body type so that you eat the right food. You should know your own mind and your psyche so that you choose the right career. Right? Isn't it? So the living being, because of his spiritual nature, he can know that which is inferior. Meaning he can understand what is his body made of. Right? Say like the doctor, when he is examining you, what is he examining? What is he examining? Examining your body, right? He's not examining you. right? He's examining your body and he's saying, there's blockage here, right? There's cancer here, some extra flesh has grown, right? That's what he's saying. So this superior living being is examining the matter, right? And then you also learn, right? You also learn how to identify stuff in your own body. If I'm bloating, it means there's too much gas, right? I ate the wrong thing. This is what this Vedic mantra is saying, right? This Vedic mantra is saying that the living being, because of his spiritual nature, can know his body, the life airs, the sensor, the elements, and the sense objects. And he can also know the three qualities that form their roots. So all these sense, object, etc., everything has come from the gunas. It has come from the gunas, right? So, in India, 10 years, 20 years ago, everybody knew about the guna. Now, the present generation, they don't know about the gunas. Right? They don't know the gunas. They don't know. Anybody ask them what are the gunas? How it works? Huh? Can you show me the gunas? They're unable to explain. They are as ignorant as I was so many years ago. Now, after studying Bhagavatam, you understand what are the gunas, right? How they manifest themselves. So the root of the body, mind, etc. is the what? The three gunas. Remember? We studied in third canto how these three gunas, they are giving rise to your body. This is all Sankhya philosophy. Nevertheless, although the living being is completely aware of them, he is unaware to see the Supreme Being, who is omniscient and unlimited. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto him. So, the jiva is able to see his own body. All right? I gave the example of the physician. He can examine you and tell you, you take pratyaksha, you take your MRI, you take your X-ray, you take, I don't know, different ways. Pratyaksha, you want to see what's going on in the body, right? And the Ayurvedic doctor, he will do by Anuman, right? He take the pulse by Anuman, he will tell you A to Z what's going on, right? Right? Huh?
Shabda Brahman. Because he will keep on asking you stories and
Who?
stories, my God.
Who is that?
Homeopathic.
Oh, he will go on asking start.
Okay.
Okay.
That's Shabda Brahman.
Anyway, so this physician or you yourself who are able to observe your body, you get to know your body, both your gross body and subtle body, but you are unable to see the super soul. Right? And that super soul, he knows everything. You can't know him, but he knows everything. He's omniscient and he's unlimited. How much can you know? Right? All of us, since years and years, we are reading this Bhagavatam, right? We are reading, unlimited. And can we hold it in our memory? No, we hear, we forget, right? Purport. Material scientists can make an analytical study of the physical elements, the body, the sensor, the sense object, and even the air that controls the vital force. But still, they cannot understand that above all these is the real spirit soul. So material scientist, he doesn't even see the soul. All right? In other words, the living entity, because of his being a spirit soul, can understand all the material objects. Or when self-realized, he can understand the Paramatma. So this living being, so he's able to perceive the material elements in himself, and when he's awakened, spiritually realized, he can see the Paramatma. But here, say that, nevertheless, the living being, even if advanced, cannot understand the Supreme Being, the Person Godhead, for his ananta and unlimited in all his six opulences. So how many people, they come and take darshan of Radha Bihari and they think that the ultimate is Brahman, right? They come in front of them, they take darshan of Radha Bihari. Still they will say yes, yes, yes. It's Brahman, or they say Paramatma, right? He's Paramatma. They don't see the real person. Text 26. Yato paramo manaso nama rupa rupasya drishta smriti sampramosha ya iyate kevalaya swasamsthaya hamsaya tasmai shuchi sadmane manaha. When one's consciousness is completely purified of the contamination of material existence, gross and subtle, without being agitated as in the working or dreaming states, and when the mind is not dissolved as in Sushupti, deep sleep, one comes to the platform of trance. Okay, so this Hamsa Guhya prayers, which is a Vedic hymn, is describing what is trance. So, what is this trance? First thing, the consciousness must be completely purified of contamination, material existence. Meaning that our consciousness is no longer focused on material enjoyment. We have to detach our consciousness from material enjoyment, the desire to enjoy. All right? This is the first step. Then what happens? So meaning that the consciousness, just heard Prabhupada explain about this. I mean, everything is his explanation, but he just said it. Sometimes hearing is better than reading, no? Understand better. So Prabhupada is saying that how your mind is working, right? Your mind is, it's just blank, it's neutral. And suddenly one idea pops up, right? Suddenly one idea pops up. And if it is a material idea, the consciousness is going to grab it and execute that idea, right? Whatever it may be. And this is how we are living our lives. This child is growing up. Already you're training the child. What will you do when you grow up? Then everybody will put one idea. The friends will say, you do this. The other one will say, no, you do this. Mother, father will say, do this. Grandmother will say, you do this. Everybody is giving one idea, right? And the mind is checking out, thinking, poor him, he is confused, right? So when the consciousness is completely purified, the contamination of material existence, gross and subtle, without being agitated, as in the working. So Prabhupada explained this working, meaning when we are awake. All right? When we are awake, we are doing so many things, right? Or in the dreaming state. In dreaming state, all that you couldn't fulfill.
So you need to be
Right?
that comes
All that you couldn't fulfill. Or maybe lifetimes, past lifetimes stuff. Everything is sitting as an imprint. right? Sitting as an imprint inside that memory. We have an unlimited memory card in the consciousness. I don't know how much, and I don't know how much limited, but a lot.
Yeah, it's vast. Yes.
All right. Only Krishna is unlimited. He's the network, right? All our mobile phone connected to this.
Yes.
God, they've got this server like Facebook is saying, no, no more, don't put on more videos, right? It's limited,
Exhausted.
limited, right? So, I'm going again and again. So the consciousness no longer grabs ideas for enjoyment, which you execute through your gross body or through your mental body in dreams. And when the mind is not dissolved, as in sushupti, deep sleep, so the mind goes into a state of deep sleep. So there are three stages. One is waking, one is swapna, jagran, and sushupti.
Which is deep.
All right? Sushupti, like when the person dies. All right? When the person dies, he goes into Sushupti. All right? Everything is removed. It's a mechanical system. So the Atma doesn't feel it once the body is dissolved. Okay? So the Atma doesn't feel it. So he's released from the gross body. He's not burning in that fire. Right? He's not burning. He's not feeling it because everything is gone. Right? And when that Jeev will again be implanted in a new womb, he is in deep susupti. He is in deep sleep, susupti. So when this Jeev, the consciousness, is beyond waking and dreaming and sushupti, then he comes to the platform of trance, samadhi. Samadhi meaning the mind, the intelligence. Samadhi.
We are all at the
Samadhi. Then one's material vision and the memories of the mind, which manifests names and forms of vanquished. All right. So, why am I saying that this is my child, this is my husband, this is my everybody, everything else? This car belongs to me, this cupboard belongs to me, this cloth belongs to me, right? Let's say you give somebody your clothes and that person wears your clothes and come in front of you. Oh, right? You will go on looking, you identify with those clothes. Even a friend, if you have given your own sari, right, to a friend, when that person he wears or she wears the cloth, come in front of you, you go on looking. Memory of identity, right? So it says here, then one's material vision, the memories of the mind is samskara. Rupasya drishta smriti Sir, my God, we are like scientists here. We are in Prabhupada's grace, we are decifying what's being said here. They are vanquished. So, I just said, no, God knows how many memory cards is there, right? How many has been fed. At the stage of trance, all those memory is vanquished. We'll be so happy, right?
Because trance means you have no material memory whatsoever, gross or subtle. You are blank.
Yeah, because what happened, we have learned so many things, right? We have heard so many things. We have been hurt in so many ways, right? So many mental, emotional injuries have happened, which has given rise to so much hatred, right? Repulsion, repulsion, so many, and it's all stored in our psyche at the stage of trance. Everything is vanquished. What it says here? Sampra Sampramoshat, meaning you become free, Moshat, right? You become free from everything that we have acquired through lifetimes and lifetimes. Only in such a trance. Previously we read, we cannot see the Supreme Person, Godhead, right? Now, how can we see the Supreme Person, Godhead? Only in such a trance is the Supreme Person Godhead revealed. Thus, let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Person of Godhead, who is seen in that uncontaminated transcendental state. Now, Prabhupada is going to explain. We have already been through it. Now, Prabhupada is going to explain in depth. There are two stages of God realization. One is Sugyeyam and the other, which means Sugyeyam. What is the meaning? Gyeyam? Which is known. All right, Gyeyam, what you can be known. Sugyeyam meaning that which is easily known. And then Durgeryam, that which is understood with difficulty. Paramatma realization and Brahman realization are considered Sugyeyam. So that's why everybody in India say, yes, yes, Paramatma is in everybody's heart. Very easily, everybody understands this, right? Whether they are actually seeing or not, we don't know. But at least culture was Namaskar, right? Not hi, hello, right? Now they say Dandavat. In Indian ISKCON jargon, they say Dandavat, but they don't do Dandavat, right? Dandavat means it's not a verb, it's not a noun, it is a verb, it is to do. Okay. As described here, one attains the ultimate realization of the Supreme Person Godhead when one gives up the activities of the mind. Thinking, feeling, and willing, I have just described to you elaborately what that means. Or in other words, when mental speculation stops. What's mental speculation? You know, I want this, I want this, I want this, right? Go on making plans, right? And actually you get it temporary and then it vanishes. This transcendent realizations above Shushupti, deep sleep. In our gross conditional stage, we perceive things through material experience and remembrance. I have just given a total description, okay? And in the subtle stage, we perceive the world in dreams. The process of vision. Process of vision, what are you seeing? Suddenly, you know, your mind's eye, you remembered something, right? The process of vision also involves remembrance and also exists in a subtle form. All right? You have seen, that's why all these YouTube advertisement is based on it. It is subtle. It is exist. See what happened? You see it once, then it takes a subtle form and it deposits itself in your memory card. And then at night, suddenly you dream of this beautiful palace in the air. Right? The process of vision also involves remembrance and also exists in a subtle form. Above gross experience and dreams is Shushupti, deep sleep. And when one comes to the completely spiritual platform, transcending deep sleep, he attains trance, Vishuddha Sattva or Vasudeva Sattva, in which the person of Godhead is revealed. So if we want to actually have darshan of Shri Radha Ras Bihari, we must come in trance, meaning we must give up our material desires. Meaning that when I'm taking darshan, I cannot let all those memories come, get released. Right? That's why people, when they come in front of the deities, they say, what's my list of wishes? Right? Please give me this, protect this one, protect that one, let that one die, let me win, right? Whole list. isn't it? Please don't interrupt, it's too difficult.
Okay.
It's too difficult. I'm reading sentence by sentence. Ata Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriye. As long as one is situated in duality, on the sensual platform, gross or subtle, realization of the original person Godhead is impossible. So I just said now, if you come in front of your deities, your own deities at home, if you have been worshipping properly, all right, your own deities don't become manifest to you. Why? Because the mind is clogged with so many material impressions, which is popping up one after the other, right? You don't know from where it's coming. Suddenly I remembered something, I forgot about it, but look, it came while I was standing up there. Deities, popped up. Now, Atta Shri Krishna Namadi na bhave graham indriya. Graham indriya means blunt senses, Prabhupada translate. So, the name of Krishna, the guna, the leela of Krishna is not perceivable by the sensual, gross or subtle body. All right? How are you going to say it's impossible? Prabhupada is writing impossible. Right? Sevan mukhe hi jivado swayam eva spurati adaha. But when one engages his senses in the service of the Lord, specifically when one engages the tongue in chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and tasting only Krishna prasadam with a spirit of service, the Supreme Person Godhead is revealed. Heard Prabhupada give a lecture on this, on the same verse. From where is it? Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. This verse is from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, quoted maybe from others, other Shastra. So Prabhupada says, nobody can understand how that happens. Statement number 1. Atta Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriye. Our blunt material senses cannot perceive the deity. Then how is it that you start to see the deity? See, maybe you have experience. First time you came, what you saw, God knows. But gradually, as you start chanting, you start offering the food. Many you're taking prasadam only. Your senses is changing. Your eyes is changing. Your ears are changing. Your entire body, sense perception, body motivation is changing. Then you start seeing, oh, this is Radha Ras Bihari, the original one who lives in Golok Vrindavan. Right? Prabhupada says, how this happens, nobody knows, but it is written in scripture, and we are following what is given in scripture, and we are experiencing. So this is indicated in this verse by the word Shuchi Sadmahe. Shuchi means purified. By the spirit of rendering service with one's senses, one's entire existence becomes Shuchi Sadma, the platform of uncontaminated purity. So 2 things only. So that's why Prabhupada insisted. We must chant Hare Krishna and we must eat Krishna prasadam only. Not from time to time I go to this party, that party, or to the shop and I buy something. Krishna prasadam only. Daksha therefore offers his respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Person of Godhead, who is revealed on the platform of Shuchi Sadma. In this regard, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur quotes the following prayer by Lord Brahma from the Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.6. Tathapi bhuman mahimagnushasya te vibuddham arhatya malam alantar atmanbhihi. One whose heart, now we know where's the heart, right? Whose heart? Whose heart? One whose heart has become completely purified, my Lord, can understand the transcendental qualities of your Lordship and can understand the greatness of your activities. Which heart? What? Which heart? Look at your own self. Which heart?
Purified.
Where's that heart? Whose heart? Which heart? You have three hearts, right? You have three hearts.
Sattva-raja-tama.
Soul super.
You've got three hearts. You've got your gross heart that you take and do, transplant. Right, you have three hearts.
The gross
Right.
body, the subtle body and body.
Your number one heart, you will die, you will burn it, and another heart will grow, right? Right? One whose heart has become completely purified. I mean, so much has been explained here. One whose heart has become heart. That's where all the ideas are sitting, right? Isn't it? And we are enacting all those ideas. This is removed. And finally, that consciousness, the things that you have collected, all the bad words that you have heard in your life or you have uttered, all the wrong information that you have collected or heard, because it's getting, collected somewhere, deposited in your lucky. Everything can go out in the stage of trance, samadhi. Everything is thrown out. Like there is so much garbage, pollution. Now everybody's, complaining there is pollution in the air, but there is pollution in the space. Space pollution. You know that? I didn't know. When I went to the children's school, these kids are learning so many things which I didn't know. Yeah, they throw out so many things. They throw out so many stuff in the atmosphere, right? And God knows what happens. And it creates litter, just like you litter, ground. You're littering up there, right? And if something drops, it drops on your head. Right? So similarly, this jiva is collecting so many pollution. So when one's heart becomes completely purified, now remove, right? Remove all this. One whose heart has become completely purified, my Lord, can understand. Then we are able to understand and appreciate the qualities of the Supreme Person Godhead. One can understand the transcendent qualities of your Lordship and can understand the greatness of your activities.
Mataji, this trance and nirvana, is that the same?
The Buddhists,
Nirvana is
they
from
took,
the Buddhist.
no. Nirvana is found in Bhagavad Gita. It's a Vedic terminology, Nirvana. But different philosophers, they take the same word and they give it their own meaning. All right? Their own interpretation. So if you will ask me whether Nirvana is same, I will ask which philosophy? Is it the Buddhist philosophy? Is it those who are taking drugs? Is it their philosophy? All right? You understand?
But nirvana is also
Nirvana meaning that now you've gone beyond that susupti. But we already said, those who are transcendentalists, the Brahmavadis, they're also in the state of nirvana, right? Got rid of material.
everything
Yeah.
is material. Yes.
Done. those who are saying, the Paramatma, he's also Nirvana, right? But the devotees, they are also in the state of Nirvana. Nirvana, what does it mean, Nirvana? Beyond the control of material nature, all right? But what am I seeing and what am I understanding?
Oh, that is also.
Yeah. So here, what we have just studied, Prabhupada is explaining that this perception of the Supreme Personality of Godhead happens beyond Susupti, in what we call Samadhi. Now, the Mayavadi will speak of Samadhi, the yogis will speak of Samadhi, and the devotees will speak of Samadhi. For the devotees, Samadhi means that I'm 100% engaged in Krishna's service.
I'm actually relating with God. Actually, samadhi means your lost connection is established.
Yes, and you are only serving Krishna. Each and every movement of yours grows subtle, and meaning that now your soul has taken charge of your gross and subtle body. Right now we are controlled, the jiva is controlled by the gross and subtle body. All right? So when we are reaching the point of nirvana, like I would say, of samadhi, like Jayapataka Maharaj, right? His gross and subtle body is not controlling him, right? So many, our Guru Maharaj, when they do all these, they're beyond, right? They are in samadhi. So therefore, they are able to do the impossible, right? So they engage in devotional service.
इसीलिए हमारे महाराज जी कथा करते हैं तो वो मतलब वो सीन पे रोने लगते हैं, वो ऑटोमेटिक बोलते बोलते मतलब वो रिलेट करते हैं उस
Yeah.
चीज से अपने आप को, तो
Yeah.
उनको ऐसा लगता है
In that way, the Prabhupada so many times in his class he has said, I see Narad Muni.
हाँ
Because wherever there is Krishna Katha,
Oh,
Narad Muni
well,
comes to listen.
like Prabhupada at the age of 70, he starts moving around. What is this? Samadhi.
Because it's not the gross and subtle which is controlled.
This is Samadhi.
This is the soul.
All right. I mean, who in their right senses will go in New York, in the Bowery? Who in their right senses, a sadhu, will go there? We will go to naked societies and preach there and make devotees. Right? Then samadhi. You feel disgusted to see naked bodies walking around. Right?
प्रेमानंद जी महाराज
Premanandji Maharaj, he also doesn't have both his kidneys, I guess. And he's surviving without his kidneys. And so many years.
सब जाते हैं
हाँ, आजकल बहुत
उनका भी नॉलेज है, वो मोस्टली अपना इस्कॉन जैसे
सब कुछ
सब
वो
कुछ उनका
वो वैसे।
इस्कॉन फिलोसॉफी
नहीं, वो भक्ति पे ही बात
हाँ
करते हैं।
भक्ति पे ही राधा और
ये।
भक्ति पे ही शरीर नहीं है ये पूरा हम जो प्रभुपाद जी का सुनते हैं पढ़ते हैं वही वो बोलते हैं।
Because he also speaks from Bhagavatam. I have heard a couple of his whenever I'm in the gym.
All right, so we had a super heavy duty reading today, right?
No, this trance thing was it will remain in my memory. Hence, I spoke about that nirvana. The moment you said trance, I was relating to nirvana. But then, this different types of nirvana, and every nirvana, a person who is trying to achieve his connection, it is all by himself. Whom he wants to connect. Does he want to connect with Brahman or Paramatma or Bhagavan?
Yeah, and anyway, see, Srila Prabhupada is going to explain more and more in depth. Because everybody say, I'm samadhi. It's common language, right? common language among sadhus, right? As well, you speak of sadhu immediately, samadhi, right? Now you're getting an explanation, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Samadhi means real
हाँ.
samadhi or samadhi and thinking is something else.
All right.
आप किससे कनेक्ट कर रहे हो वो
हम्म.
समाधि में, दैट इज मोर
Hmm.
आपको
All right.
कि
Hare
ऐसे
Krishna.
समाधि है लेकिन सोच रहे हो खाने का, सोच रहे हो एंजॉयमेंट का, that is not samadhi.
I don't know. I saw in one video they were putting one girl inside samadhi. I don't know. She was a sant or
Getting
something.
buddied or
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what they were doing. Anyway, samadhi, take darshan Rara Ras Bihari, be in samadhi.
actually which is what Prabhupada is trying to say,
इधर
that
उधर
you
का
can
सब छोड़ दो, सिर्फ फोकस करो वो समाधि.
हाँ, और शायद वो आप चलते फिर